Hey, Miss Marion here. We are going to do Unit 7, Lesson 9. Go ahead and grab your workbook, open to page 130. Read the I can't statement. Given a very large or small number, I can write an expression equal to it using a power of 10. So we're going to talk about power of 10 stuff today. Go ahead and give yourself a sentence about how you feel about it. Also a number, so 1, I don't remember. 2, I kind of remember it. 3, I do remember it. And 4, I can teach it to my friend. So let's go ahead and let's turn to page 65. On page 65, it says match each expression with its corresponding value or word. So 10 to the negative 3 is not this number and not a billion. So what you're going to do, so notice how it kind of gave you another table. You're going to match the different things together of where it actually needs to go ahead and be. So go ahead and pause, answer that question. So pause and answer that question, and then come back to me. All right, let's go ahead and talk about these. I'm going to do 10 to the third first, okay? That's something that we know. If we do 10 to the third, in fact, even if you put it in your calculator, do 10 caret 3, you're going to get this number. And what is that? Word-wise, if I say it out loud, it's 1,000. And it's 1,000. So right now, I have that one canceled out and this one canceled out. All right, let's look at some other ones that we know. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this one next because I know that one. That one, if it's 10 to the 6, that means I'm going to have 6 zeros. And I can put my commas in there. So what is that word? That word is million. Okay. And let's go ahead and let's look at some other ones. So let's look at 10 to the 9, right? How many zeros do I have? I have a 1 and then 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then what is this number? This is billion. And then 10 to the 12, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this is trillion. Okay, so all of these, in fact, I'm going to erase this bottom one, and I'm going to change the color. All right, so let's cross out all the stuff. So we have million, that one, billion, that one, and trillion. All right, let's look at the next two. So 1 over negative 3. 1 over negative 3, we know we can also write it as 1 over 10 to the third power, right? So that's a mathematical definition. And let's go ahead and write that out. So that's going to be 1 over 1,000. So what does 1 over 1,000? This is milli. Okay, so it's a little bit different than the whole numbers, okay? And then let's do the other one. So we're going to do 1 over 10 to the second, because that's a mathematical definition, which is 1 over 100, and this is actually centi. Okay, so now we've actually put all the expressions together and all the words together and the value together. So hopefully you understand that. If you did not, go ahead and pause, rewind that, and then do it again, and then come back. All right, so this is not in your workbook, but I want to talk about it anyway. And let's kind of talk about bigger numbers and writing them with powers of 10. So if we look at this, we have the distance to the sun is this big old long number in meters, okay? And notice how we can write it as 150 times 10 to the 9th. Because going from the end where the point will be, right here, if we kind of count it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Now, are there any other ways we can go ahead and write this? So we have 150 times 10 to the 9th. I can also write it as 15 times 10. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this in a different color. we're going to say we have 15 times 10 to the 10th, okay? So it's kind of like starting here with the red and going all the way up to here. How many zeros are there? Well, there's 10, right? Now, I can also write it one other way. I can write it as 1.5 times 10 to the 11th, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And it would put the decimal point between 1 and 5. So notice these are different ways of writing this really big number, actually quite simpler than actually writing down all the zeros over and over and over again. Okay? So let's go ahead and let's talk about the speed of light. Speed of light is our next one, right? And we have this big old long number, meters per second, right? So, and we can write it as 310 to the 6th. So notice again how the decimal's at the end. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 300. What's another way we can also write this? We can write it as 30 times 10 to the 7th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would bring it here. We can also write it as 3 times 10 to the 8th. We kind of went over that. Also, we have 3, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros, right? So these are different ways. We can also, again, write those really, really big number in different ways with powers of 10. So now we're actually going into decimals. Decimals, if you notice, they're really small numbers. Decimals, also, if you notice, see how this is decimal and this is actually a negative exponent. So let's go ahead and let's count all of to go from kind of here to the 48. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay? So it's to the negative 13. What's another way we can write this? I can write this. All right, notice how I kind of put all the bumps there. If we count them, this is actually 12. So it'll be 4.8 times 10, and it's going to be negative 12 because that's a decimal. It's a really, 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 really small number. Okay? Any other ways we could write this? If we really, really, really wanted to write it, we could actually do 0.48 times 10 to the negative 11. So we're putting the decimal here. If we count it, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 zeros. So it'll be negative 11. All right, so now let's do the mass of a proton, which is really small. It's probably part of electrons, chemistry, all that kind of stuff, right? So right now, again, notice how the exponent is negative 29. And it brings it all, the decimal all the way, let's change our color to red, to here. So if we count it, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 29. Okay. What's another way we can go ahead and write this? I can write it as 16.7 times 10 to the negative 28. Again, if we go ahead and go from the decimal point all the way up to between 6 and 7, then it would be 28, right? But it's negative because it's a decimal. And then what's another way we can write this? Okay, I can write it as 1.67 times 10 to the negative 27. And then the last way I can write it, just kind of like we did before, if I really want to, I can write it as 1.67 times 10 to the negative 26. So notice how these are different ways of making really large numbers and really small numbers with powers of 10. Why do we do it this way? Because all of our numbers have a base of 10. We go up to 10, and then we start with 20, and then we go to 30. Everything has a base of 10. That's why we can write it this way. So this was actually our main goal for today as far as what we need to learn. So it's a really short lesson. But again, if you did not understand anything, go back, rewind it, listen to it again, and then go ahead and do the practice problems. Yes, we're doing practice problems for today. So we need to go ahead and turn to page 130. Give yourself a sentence of how you feel about it today. Given a very large or small number, I can write an expression equal to it using a power of 10. Notice it, remember, if it's a small exponent, if it's a small number, it's going to be a negative exponent, right? And then if it's a large number, it's going to be a positive exponent. Go ahead and write yourself a sentence about this. Give yourself a number. So 1, I'm still confused. 2, I kind of got it. 3, I did get it. And 4, I can teach it to my friend. And again, yes, we're doing practice problems for today. Hope you have a great day. Short lesson for you. Have a good Friday. Thanks. Bye.